Handshakers talking about anime. Guess it's important to hear what they say. Argue over weapons throughout night and day. Now that you listen to the Rand Cafe.
Yo, what is up, boys? How's it going? And welcome back to another episode of the Rant Cafe Anime Podcast. We are back again discussing anime, making each other watch anime. And next week, we're going to get into seasonals once again, so make sure you tune in for that. But with me today, we have Recon. How you doing, Anime Recon?
Welcome back, boys. We're here to talk about probably some more crappy anime with the boys, Briggs and Jordan.
This week was kind of rough. You made us watch Jahy, the Unbeatable, or some shit.
The great Jahy cannot be defeated.
Yeah, that's what you made us watch. I recommended a banger of an anime, very much superior to Recon's choice, Handshakers.
Yes, I would never recommend this at all. I would never.
Maybe this is actually a good week. Okay. And then Jordan with an actual good pick, Orb and the Movements of the Earth. How you doing, Jordan?
What's up, everybody? Happy to be here. You know, I reckon with my pick, but sadly, any other week I think it would have been the best anime. But this week, not so much. It was up there, but
yeah, this week we had
Handshakers is too much, man.
You know,
funny enough, I didn't even watch any episodes because
you had to rewatch them. That's the whole point. Bad.
I kind of remember
already
what
happens in episode 2. What's a Nimrod?
Not the lore dump.
They up in the bath. I think that's what happens. Yeah,
they do that in episode 2. He's not wrong.
I think that's what I remember. They up in the bath.
Recon. That means you probably didn't watch the first 3 episodes of Orb either, because you already watched Orb.
I've fully watched Orb already. Fully watched it.
You got to give yourself a refreshing memory. What happens in episode 3?
Everybody knows what happens in episode 3. It's
come on, it's a big episode. I'm just
it's when he learns to play basketball and goes to the league.
That's when anyway, we'll refresh your memory and get your opinion on it.
Let's go.
So what do we want to start with first?
Up to you. We can start with the worst one if you want a handshake.
Okay, so Jahy goes first if you want.
Sure.
Unironically liked Handshakers. No, I lied. I ironically liked Handshakers more than Jahy. Like, at least it was so bad that it was fun to watch. Jahy was so boring. I hated it. Dude, I hated it. It actually put me to sleep.
So while I'm not like a huge Jahy guy, did it at least remind you a little bit of like Devil is a Part-Timer? Because I know you like that.
It did. It was Devil. It's Devil is a Part-Timer, but from Wish and Temu.
From what now?
I'm saying it's a bad Devil is a Part-Timer.
He's basically saying Jahy is like a Temu version of Devil's a Part-Timer.
They're like, okay, people like Devil's a Part-Timer. Let's take this concept and put a cute girl that could also get whatever, like that could turn into a cute girl, but she's like a demon or like a hot demon or something.
Does Jahy not remind you about, let's say, Gabriel Dropout? Because it really gave me a lot of vibes with that.
Okay, but you keep on trying to compare it to things that are better than it. Compare it to itself. Why is it good?
So
it's a funny ass anime of a little demon girl that loses her powers, and she's trying to get by in her life by doing stuff and gathering all the crystals and battling the fucking magical girl that put her on the spot. Isn't that all fun?
I had fun with it, Recon. I had fun with it. It was one of those things where I've at least heard about it because I've seen a lot of art from the artist. I follow her on Twitter, and it seems like it'd be a very solid manga. And it feels like one of those things where whenever they made the anime, they didn't really do anything to really enhance it. If anything, like you can kind of see where each chapter probably starts and ends as they put like 3 into each episode. So it almost feels like you're watching like little shorts of things that are happening. And the jokes are kind of like one-dimensional a little bit off rip because it's just her being prideful and her being her own worst enemy. And it kind of hurt my heart a little bit to watch that. But yeah, she's so prideful that she, tries not to embarrass herself in front of her previous subordinates. She puts herself in these situations where Yeah, she's just trying to get by day to day, right? Just that alone takes up a lot of her time, and that's relatable in a way. So, um, yeah, I got into it whenever she was fighting the massive bird demon that was stronger than anything you'd ever seen on the in the demon continent, right? So, like her battle to get that crystal, I was engaged. All right, she was climbing the tree. She was in the wilderness. Like it got adventurous real quick.
A whole 20 meters away from her house.
Yeah. I mean, we've all been there, right?
Oh, yeah.
You step out 20 feet in the woods, you feel lost. You're like, all right, do I have at least my phone wallet, keys? Like anything could happen out here, right?
True. So I do think at times there would be like a funny moment here or like a cute moment there. But it just felt like I was waiting 20 minutes and just like trying to react. I was trying to react, right? Normally I don't have to try to react. I feel like I was forcing myself to react on stream and add commentary. I was adding jokes to the show and making fun of it to make it funny. And that's usually a bad sign.
Oh God. I mean, to be honest, in the end, it's subjective comedy. So
Yeah,
you
it's
either
true.
like it or you don't.
Comedy is like the most subjective genre, I think.
Yeah.
So.
It's like it's a hit or a miss. Mm-hmm. You either like it or you don't. So.
It was an airball.
Personally, I like
my opinion.
it, but for you guys, I don't know. It's probably just a complete shit show.
No, I actually didn't mind it too much. I think I would like reading this one, and I feel like a lot of comedies kind of like this usually kind of build on themselves over time as like more cast members are added. Mm-hmm. So like in the few episodes I watched, like we're at least adding a couple cast members here and there, right? So, little spats like just her not wanting to pay rent, and then like the landlord like, no, you got to pay rent. I know you got paid yesterday. Things like that. Like they were pretty entertaining in a way. Like it was all right. Like I probably won't finish all 20 episodes, but I didn't hate it, Recon. I didn't hate it. It was a solid like 5 for me.
Good to know. Yeah, solid 5.
I'll give it a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, a 5 is average for me. All right, that's usually what I consider pretty average.
I gave it a 7.5.
That's crazy.
I watched all of the episodes. I really enjoyed
He has this rated higher than I have Sword Art Online rated.
That's just sinful. How could you rate the anime with the true
Sword Art Online is a 10 out of 10, man, and you know it.
I unironically had rated 10 out of 10 after
every single season is a 10 out of 10.
Ban him, chat. Ban him. He lasted 30 seconds. Ban this dude.
30 seconds?
Still glazing SAO in the big year of 2025. I brought it up, to be fair. I brought it up. Never changed, Recon.
He did brought him up. He did brought him up. It's his fault. So you got to blame Briggs.
It still hits at times, I've never actually rewatched SAO, but I have rewatched SAO Abridged, and it kind of hits.
That's funny. All right, guys, let's talk about Handshakers.
Ooh. Oh God.
Recon, you want to get started on this one or nah?
Sure. So, Handshakers is made by Studio Gohands. Now, Gohands is, first of all, their best anime to this day is still K Return of Kings. But they decided to somewhat take the concepts of the K project and all that, and they do very similar art styles across all their anime, but they sometimes really take things overboard with their animation, especially CGI and 3D animation, where it hurts to watch for the human eye, because they go overboard with the animation and all the special effects and all that, and I really don't like it. And for Handshakers, there's a lot of forced things, especially the ecchi of how forced it was. I hated it so much. But essentially, Handshakers is such a dumb concept. It's like a battle royale where two people must work together, and you must find a way to, let's say, connect together to use their awesome powers in order to fight in a battle royale, meet God, and then gain that one single wish. Yeah, it's just super cliche, super boring.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on some of that, Recon. I never thought I'd find myself saying this, but I was a big Handshakers optimist prior to it airing. I watched one episode and I initially dropped it. Like I couldn't hardly do it.
I like the concept. I feel like that's what Jordan's gonna say. The concept and theory.
Here's the thing. I thank you for making me like revisit this, Briggs, okay, in the great year 2025, because I liked it more this time around. So Gohan's, as much as I don't like a lot of the things that they do, they're very stubborn, but they're also very ambitious, right? So like there's a lot of just scenic shots where it's panning, and like they animated every person in that crowd that's walking by. Like they it was an ambitious project, right? They went hard on it, and there's times where because of that, with like some of the angles and the way that everything kind of meshes together, it's like a little bit jarring, and like they ignore a lot of like rules of film that like kind of make it a bit of a headache to watch at times. But overall, it's not nearly as bad as I remember. And on the topic of ecchi, I if you guys want to say anything else prior to that, I have a little bit of a soapbox I want to go to on that for Handshakers. But it's overall not as bad as I remember, not by a long shot. So
Okay, so I believe it was also not as bad as I remember, but I was also drunk when I watched it. I needed to take substances in order to get myself to do this. I watched 3 episodes of Handshakers. The concept is very similar to the concept of like Fate Zero, right? Or Fate Stay Night, where like you and your partner, in a way, are fighting against the other people that are chosen to get a wish granted. Like the concept in itself is not bad, as we could see by Fate Zero and Fate Stay Night being good at times. However, it's more the execution of the concept that I didn't like as much, like with the CGI.
But you're comparing Studio Ufotable with Gohan's.
I don't care. I don't really care that much about how it looks per se. I will say this is one of the ones that, like, for me, when I don't care about how something looks, it can only go so far. And I did hate the CGI in this, except for like a couple moments in fights. I hated every other minute of it, of like how it looked. But if it was a good story with good dialogue and good characters, I think I could get over the art style very quickly. And I couldn't because other than the concept, I didn't love the characters. There was very, very slow pacing, and then out of nowhere, they're fighting people. The girl doesn't talk. Do we know why she doesn't talk, even though she could kind of understand Japanese? Isn't she from another country or something? Or
I mean, that was a cover story, I think, but I don't know.
I don't know. She doesn't say any fucking words.
Completely forgot why. Maybe she's just the silent type, you know.
So I don't like kuderes to begin with. That's like my least favorite archetype. And this one like might have a reason for being a kudere, but or for being not even a kudere, but just being a quiet.
I would say she's a kudere. She's just quiet.
She's just quiet.
Yeah.
So that's but I'm just saying like kudere is my least favorite type, and then this girl just doesn't fucking talk, which is why.
Is yandere your favorite?
I get like a good yandere or a good tsundere for sure. I don't love quiet girls in anime or shy girls in anime like, as a concept.
Yeah.
Because then you get like one-sided conversations and then internal dialogue sometimes, and I'm not in love with like the internal dialogue for like fucking slice of life anime. Anything else?
All right. So
I do want to get the one girl that fucking looks like she's like 14 or like she looks like she's fucking 7, but she's like the manager of a thing. That also pissed me off. It's unnecessary. Ha ha ha. She looks young.
Hold on, it's not unnecessary. That's her whole reason for fighting, apparently. Which, as a fellow short king, okay, like I kind of get it. Like I played basketball, I was always around a lot of tall people. It's not fun getting called short, okay? Like I get that. I at least see what they did there, right? There's a little bit of duality between her being short but having like a very assertive personality, and then like her partner being like honestly like a pretty big dude, pretty imposing, looks pretty confident, but like he's just very passive, right? So like I at least see kind of what they did there, but they took it to an extreme hyperbole, but that didn't bother me too much. But the soapbox I wanted to get on to about like I guess ecchi in anime, right?
Okay.
So I don't mind ecchi in anime. It's never bothered me. I actually kind of appreciate it a lot of the time. I know you could enjoy ecchi, Briggs, Recon. I know you're an ecchi enjoyer. This show was kind of groundbreaking in a lot of ways, right? Like it had some basic ecchi, like it had the bondage in the first episode with the chains and
Yeah,
stuff.
but it's
It had
all forced. It's
yeah,
not like,
no, it had the girl
natural.
listening.
It's not
No,
like
it's natural. It's a girl listening to music and her boobs just jiggling as she does. That's the most natural thing in the world. Okay, it had some bathroom scenes, etc. But then it went beyond plus ultra all of that, right? And it did like the most ecchi thing, and it made it the linchpin of the show was them holding hands. Not only can they hold hands, but if they stop holding hands for too long, like the
They
girl
die.
dies. Like it is like the most extreme thing, right? So I kind of appreciate that in a way, right? It took it to, it takes all these things and it takes them to the extreme. So I don't know. It was kind of fun. I enjoyed it more this time around. Whereas like I think I went into it with too high of expectations the first time around, and because I thought the trailer looked pretty, and then I was disappointed. And then this time I went in with like no expectations. I knew I'd hated it this time, and I had fun with it. I enjoyed it.
Sometimes it's all on us, to be honest, as consumers. Like
Yeah.
I showed up drunk and I had a good time.
Exactly. I think that's
By
probably
the
the
way-
way to watch it. Not gonna lie.
W's, the fucking sequel, if that's what you want to call it, absolutely the same, no difference.
So
No
different
difference,
main
the
characters,
same-
right? But like, it's the
Yeah,
sequel.
but the same concept, the same fucking concept of people, duos battling and all that shit. As
Well-
just both Handshakers and W's got a low score of like
Yeah.
5 points
Well,
something. It's just
people-
not great.
people got mad at WZ because like I know the main characters, the Handshakers, are like background characters in WZ, but it is basically a sequel. And the fact that people hated Handshakers and then they advertised it as something else, and like they never even insinuated that it was like in any way related to Handshakers, but they just released it as like a new anime, and people are like, "This is just more Handshakers." Like people felt betrayed, right?
I hate
but-
you guys want to talk about the strange and weird camera angles that Goans likes to use?
Yeah, I'm not in love
Like-
with the camera angles. At times it could be
They have
okay.
some- It's like I said, it's almost overly
Over the top.
ambitious. It's like they're trying to be different and unique, and they are, but like not always in the best of ways, right?
I feel like they're trying to be different and unique, but also cut costs. Like they're like, if we show it from this angle, it's a cool perspective, but also you don't need to see her lips moving, and that costs money. Like,
Maybe in some ways, because like you gotta kind of balance it out, but I feel like they go above and beyond in ways that like you don't really. It's not beneficial, but like they're really determined to make it look like that, right?
true.
And I guess on the topic of like watching it drunk, like there's times where watching it normally is like very visually disorienting. It's like but when you're drunk, you're kind of seeing double. You're like
You're already disoriented.
yeah, it balances out, right? Two negatives make a positive, and I feel like that's probably the peak way to watch it. If I'm being honest, that makes a lot of sense to me. So
And I genuinely enjoyed it more than Jahy, the unbeatable, defeatable. Like,
Jahy's
Man.
adorable. Okay,
Alright,
Jahy was
alright.
such a wholesome anime. It's
I-
just
I think
Fun.
I liked it more. I ironically watched it and was making fun and having fun with it. But I feel like also unironically, because I was a little bit tipsy, I was having fun watching fucking Handshakers. I'm like, don't let go of her hand. Don't do it.
people were too quick to jump on Handshakers. I'm guilty as well. I'm partially at fault. I gave up after one episode. Shame on me.
Shame on me.
You
All
know
right.
what? Maybe we
let's
should
talk about
recommend more.
Go ahead.
Let's recommend some more Gohan's anime then. If you guys like Handshakers, we should recommend more Gohan's anime and see how you guys feel.
Maybe everybody's mentioning the one with the girl with the glasses. Like the girl I like forgot her glasses, and I read that manga. It's pretty
That
cute
was
manga.
Not
but the
very
trailer-
good as well.
The
Not
trailer
very
is like
good.
shows exactly why I usually have an issue with Gohans. It's like they do stuff with the camera angles and stuff that's kind of unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Like they follow a student walking through a high school hallway and like up the stairs and stuff. And at one point they go like underneath the shoe. And I'm like, why
Yeah,
did
it's
you
like
go underneath the shoe? I don't want to see
super
the bottom
low-
of that shoe.
Super
Like that's-
low camera angles and then weird side views and
But-
shit. It's like, why? Why would you?
It's like just
do
it's
this?
it's different for the sake of being different a lot of times, right? Where it's like there's not a deeper purpose to it. I think that's where that's where a lot of people are kind of lost. So if I had to say, but if you want to recommend more Gohan's anime eventually, Recon, I'll at least be open-minded going into it. Okay, I might not like it.
I probably won't, to be honest.
I know I won't, but
Anyway, let's continue. Let's talk about an actual good anime, Orb, and the movements or on the movements of the Earth.
Let's go.
let's go best for last.
Best for last. And I have my issues with this anime. but I do love it. I really, really, really like it, and I'm sad I never finished it. So I am gonna continue to watch it this time around.
Mm-hmm.
I still need to finish it as well, but I love what I've seen of it so far. Like it's if it continues to be this high quality throughout, I think it will probably like break into my top 10, 15 anime of all time. Like I'm really loving it. So
It's a very good anime. Yeah, it's definitely a underrated hidden gem. It's not like super popular by any means because a lot of people haven't seen it, but it's definitely a very good masterpiece hidden gem of 2024.
It's one of those where I could see a lot of people maybe not liking it because it's very feels kind of niche in a way. It's a lot of dialogue and a lot of themes and ideas as like the
It's very
the
scientific.
focal point.
I would say it's a lot of science involved and stuff. So it's not a lot of what people like.
It is, but it's I don't. To me, it's almost more like the pursuit of truth and like and like the nature of humans, right?
Yeah.
And it's tackling it from a way that's not entirely historically accurate, but it's more like a thought experiment on what people prioritize and the importance of being honest and truthful to yourself and not like not lying, right? Whenever it comes to like universal truths and things that you and even being open-minded to what the truth might be, right? Like at the very start, he's like, no, there's no way that could be. But when presented with those ideas, he's like, that could make sense, right? He starts looking into it, things like that. So it's a lot of talking, a lot of dialogue. But I know people that usually hate shows like that have loved this show. So it's done really well.
I really loved the concept that it wasn't just like science versus religion. Because like I feel like they could have went that route where it's like religion's trying to police people and it's gonna stop you from studying anymore, and it's like then the science people don't even believe in God or like are atheists or whatever. The first guy who was burned alive for being a heretic, literally, his thing was that the current concepts, that the way things are being told and studied now, the current concept of the universe doesn't make logical sense, and thus it's not beautiful. God would not create something that's like doesn't logically make sense, that isn't beautiful. So for him, finding the truth that like the sun is the center of like or the earth wasn't the center of the universe, and that you're rotating around the sun, and once you actually draw it and it makes a perfect circles and stuff like that, they're like, this logically makes a lot more sense. It's more beautiful. It's something that makes more sense, like for him as a religious person, that God would make something that's perfect, not imperfect, in a way. So like I like that they didn't tackle it like, oh, screw the church, science rules. I feel like they could have went that route, and they definitely didn't.
Yeah, it's not something so straightforward as that, which I really love. It's more like
Nuance.
There's societal norms and things that are typically okay maybe to say verbally and stuff at any given time, and people almost feel constricted like that in a way. And we see Rafael at the very start say like, life is just easier if I tell the teacher what he wants to hear, right? If I just lie, if I just I don't have to really think these things, I'll just say what works and
what they want,
goes, right?
the answer that they expect or want.
Yeah, and like there's something to that, but then there's something more deep and universal in like actually seeking truth. And once he is, it goes beyond the individual in that way, right? Where he's willing to die for the sake of passing on the torch and for those that greater search for truth and knowledge, right? So it's one of those things where the people that witnessed that hadn't really ever grappled with that idea before. The guy that is going around torturing people and whatnot, he has a family. He's doing his job, right? So it's like there's ways that you can get lost in that, and not almost like not really even care for those truths and whatnot. So it's like just the different aspects of humanity, and it's like kind of just a thought experiment tackling those from different angles and perspectives, right? Rather than an individual character. So
I like one issue I have with the series, and it doesn't really apply to the first few episodes, because we do at the end of the third episode get to see our first main character kind of pass away and pass a torch on, which I thought was a little quick. It happened so fast, but I liked the idea and the message. Like, it was passed to him, he passed it to someone else. This truth, this universal truth, is gonna come out because whatever the reason may be, right? Like, people are always gonna seek knowledge and truth no matter what. And he was influenced and inspired by so and so, and he's gonna inspire others with what he left behind, etc. But I remember having an issue with the series where it did sometimes feel like they were just like passing the torch too quickly. Like, someone would discover something and it would just so quickly go on to the next person, and they're like just like willing to sacrifice their lives. Just felt so unrealistic in a way.
So what I really love about those first 3 episodes is almost how fast that torch was passed, because we see a little bit of weakness in his father, right? Where he's kind of abiding by the powers that be. He turns his own son in because he thinks, it's not like this is the final strike, right? There's still a chance for us to just bend the knee and go along with the flow, and everything will keep going fine. But it's the choice that's made there from Raph that it's the fact that he very easily could have just turned in all that science. He says, I think I could prove this within my lifetime and figure all this out. If I just say the right thing, if I just go with the flow, and then, on the back end, continue doing what I was doing. But he doesn't do that, right? And I think there's a lot of significance in him not doing that, and being willing to choose death rather than lying. And because when you lie to yourself and you lie to others, you're kind of like tainting your own soul in a way, right? Like, you're tainting aspects of yourself that like are very hard to undo. And there's the fact he chooses death rather than doing that. It just feels so significant. It is kind of like a whiplash, but it didn't feel unrealistic to me.
So I'm okay with it for the first 3 episodes. I did like that, even though he's a child. But he was obviously like very intelligent, and he had a reason for what he did. There was
I've only seen 6 episodes so far, so I'm still not too far.
Oh, my bad.
No,
did you see a guy hanging from a cliff yet? That happens pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was just like he discovered one thing, and he's like, okay, carry on the research. Go on without me. I'm like, dude, grab his hand. Let me die. Pass on the torch. Sometimes like the torch thing felt a little bit too fast for me. But other than that, I did really like the show, and I'm excited to watch more. So you haven't even got into... Actually, I don't even want to say.
Yeah, so like if we do want to delve into that a bit, like I did like that while it was the guy that had like the intrinsic interest in that initially, like that curiosity that he had already been looking at Mars for like a year. Like he was the one kind of willing to take the risks initially, but I did like that it got passed on from there to a guy that had no interest at that point, right? Like he hadn't looked into that. He probably can't even read. Like I don't think he can read. Like he hasn't gone down that rabbit hole in and of himself, right? But he knows that there's other people feel so strongly about it that they find a bit of comfort in knowing that they passed the torch. Like he sees that twice, right? But like both from the initial heretic and then his buddy that does the same. Like he sees that twice, where he sees them kind of make peace at the end with knowing that they passed the torch along, and that they did something beyond their own individual life that probably has a greater purpose, right? So
again, I like the concept. Sometimes the execution felt a little
No, that's fair. I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah, I'm excited for more. I want to watch more. And the concept of passing the torch, and to this guy who wasn't even interested per se, compared to others that already had an interest, is a cool concept. Did our Mars guy use the information to actually prove what he wanted? Did he get his discovery or satisfaction? Like, not to the public, but to himself? Do you remember if the Mars guy?
Not yet. I mean, or he died, I guess.
Yeah, he died. That's what I'm saying. It happened like so quickly. Like, at least fuck it up.
But I do like that whenever his research is passed along, like we see that inherent flaw in him where he expected something to happen in nature, right? And he got almost like demoralized whenever it didn't, rather than pursuing why did it not, right? Like why did it look like it suddenly turned around, right? That goes against what you would expect, but there's a reason whenever you're observing nature and what's happening, right? And the objective reality in front of you. So it's just trying to unpack why that is without your own initial presuppositions is very important there. So.
True. Yeah, it was something like he was studying Mars. It was going in a pattern. It was going in a pattern, and I guess at the point where it would be like rotating, like it looks like it's like then it loses its pattern completely because they're going off of the notion that Earth is the center, right? Rather than them both circling the sun, but at different rates.
And because like the way that they both circle, or like and one rotates, there is that point in time every 4 years or what have you and stuff where it almost looks like Mars goes backwards a little bit, right? And that threw away everything he was expecting to see, and it like
but then he had the information in front of him, and it was in a chest. I don't remember exactly. 'Cause I didn't watch it recently. I watched it fucking like when it came out, but it was in a chest.
Yeah.
There's a diagram. Look at the diagram. Oh shit! I'm falling off a cliff. I didn't get to read the diagram. Fuck! Give him the diagram before he dies.
I do remember when they walked up that cliff. I was like, shoot, the way that they drew this, I'm like, somebody's falling off this, but how does this happen? I'm like, I feel like it doesn't make sense for one to push the other, but like I'm like somebody's about to fall, and then the whole bridge just breaks. So like I get what you're saying there. At least I'm like, all right, you saw it coming, but you're like the whole bridge just collapsed right then and there. But, no,
anyway, but overall, it's a very good show. How do you guys feel about the torture?
It's cool, I guess.
I like that it's done from a character that one he's with the church because he they need somebody to do that dirty work, right? Former mercenary, but it's from a character who doesn't necessarily seem like, it's not like he does it because he enjoys it, right? Or like he's this satanic guy. He's like, I have a family, like this is just, I'm just doing my job, right? Like he has this most mundane attitude towards it. And I feel like that's so realistic in a way, because a lot of times you see the horrible things that people do, they rationalize themselves to it eventually with very, very mundane reasons behind why, right? So I don't know where that character's heading yet, but with how he witnessed like Raph's end at the end of episode 3 and how that was kind of new to him, and then he was also present in the second arc I'm watching. I feel like that's going to be very important going forward. So
yeah, so I was completely wrong when I watched the show, but for some reason I thought that the torture after the kid died, it fast forwarded in time a bit, and like the new people, I thought he was like the old heretic. I thought like he got influenced or something.
Oh yeah. No.
I was wrong. It was not him. He's still like the same age or like slightly older.
He's there, but yeah, definitely he hasn't, like, people don't change quite that quickly, right? Even when something major happens, but I'm curious to see where they're going since he was present both times, right?
Yeah.
And since he is that guy that seems relatively grounded in why he's doing what he does. So
yeah, or he at least convinces himself that
like, at least
doing
rationalizes it.
He rationalizes it.
Yeah.
And he seems somewhat unaffected by the actions that he does. Like it's his day job.
Oh yeah, like he's definitely gotten very cold and callous in what he does, and maybe he was that way to kind of be. This is kind of hard. I'm just gonna kill you. Like that's a simpler way to do this. Talking about like the second arc, where the guy's like trying to turn himself in. He's like, what's the simplest way to do this? But I guess Recon, do you have any overarching thoughts? Since I think you're the one that's probably seen the most of the show, or.
Recon.
I know.
Yeah. I'm here. Sorry,
I was just yapping for a bit there.
I know you guys were just yapping a lot. Meanwhile, I was just watching Light Turner do some epic tricks with his book. One of the greatest protagonists of all time, by the way.
Is that the live action?
Yeah. The classic live action Light Turner.
Without spoiling anything for Orb, just covering the first 3 to 6 episodes. Were there any thoughts you wanted to share?
I would say, remember how you first mentioned how this wasn't you felt like this wasn't really a battle between two sides, right?
Yeah.
Well, to me, this was, to be honest, a battle between two sides.
Does it become more that way afterwards? Does it more become science versus religion?
It is pretty much. The whole anime kind of felt like a battle of truth. Like one side wants to prove the truth of the cosmos, and the other is the church, and they don't want any of that stuff going on where they are. And if people do the stuff, then they will face prosecution by the church and all its inquisitors. But the main goal of this is to pretty much leave behind like all these footnotes for like the future generations and continue the legacy for collecting all this human knowledge. That's what the whole thing is about. So it is sticking to that battle between two sides. It does that for the whole show.
So I do think it's between two sides, and I do think as
it is.
It goes on with different protagonists. It may be more science versus religion, but I like that the beginning, our first guy still believed in God, and like was still like the reason why he wants to prove his theory right is because the current theory, like in the Bible or that the church like currently has doctrinated, doesn't logically make sense, and God would not have an imperfect system. So he was still a believer, and he wanted to do it for God, for what he thought was beautiful, the universe. So I like that.
I think that you could say that there's two sides, but I don't think it's necessarily some surface level like binary between religion and science. Like that's surface level, maybe kind of what it is, because in this specific time period, in this specific way, the humans that are acting a little bit more authoritarian are probably with the church and things of that nature. But I feel like it's, overarching wise, like thematic wise, it's like the authoritarian powers that would like try to silence the truth versus like the truth itself, right? Like the truth kind of goes beyond any one individual. It's very hard to like fight against and try to like enforce a reality that doesn't go based on that. And I feel like that's kind of what's tackled in those first 3 episodes as we're outlining
it's
it.
It's like the church basically doesn't want the truth to be spread out. So it's not like they don't really care, more to say, but it will cost them a lot. Like people will leave, they will abandon them and all that. So it's gonna cost them a lot if the truth keeps on spreading and more and more. It's like they don't want that progression, basically.
Right. Well, yeah, I think there's almost like a certain comfort that they have with the way things are. So like
that's why they torture and beat people up. That's why they don't want that.
So it's kind of a way to like maintain the status quo of even within the church, right? Like they don't want you reading too much into this because that's not good for anybody. You don't need to go too into the weeds. We just keep things how they are. Just don't dig too deep. Just at the current way that things are, they like the status quo, right? So they are the powers that be. They kind of determine the societal norms of the time period. So
and in that time, the church really did act as a police. They were the government in a way, or more.
They were pretty much the police.
They were the police in a way, right? They're the ones who would put people in jail for doing certain actions, or
they set the rules.
Yeah. And it does make sense. You don't want to prove something, like you wouldn't want your people to prove something that like kind of is in contradiction to what you're teaching. And at the same time, it's sad, but keeping the people less educated helps with that notion. Keeping them dumb.
Yep,
exactly.
You can get away with more.
Dumb and dumb. But other than that, to me, Orb was very, very solid. A masterpiece of a show. Like there's no waste of time. There's no waste of time. The pacing is just amazing, and it's like, how do I say this? It's like the show wants you to pretty much solve the mystery with all the characters and all that, and through their motivation and their actions and their goals. Like it's just so good. There's no words to really describe it, but it's so good.
Yeah. And you learn stuff. I was learning astronomy. I didn't know Mars looks like it turns around every 4 years. I need to actually verify that. Like probably
you gotta.
But
in terms of watching this, I'd say you gotta use your brain. Probably not as much as like Lord of Mysteries, but you gotta somewhat use it.
Oh yeah,
I watched a little bit more Lord of Mysteries. I have come to the conclusion that like we think we have to use our brain, but it's actually maybe better if you don't. Versus because they fucking say a lot of bullshit.
You are right.
I feel like they say a lot of, it's a lot of fucking smokes and mirrors and just like saying extra things to make it sound too cool. I'm like, you're adding steps for no reason sometimes.
Yeah.
But I will say for Orb, I think it's important to pay attention to the dialogue and what they're trying to discover and what they mean.
I think
so. Definitely pay attention, and having your brain on for Orb makes sense. It's a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, I feel like Orb was very thought provoking. It made me like stop it at times just to kind of process things and let it sink in and think it through. And then that's why it sucks. I was in the middle of watching it when I got like really sick, and then my head was kind of foggy, and I was like, well, I don't feel like watching it right now because I can't. You can't just turn your brain off and watch this show.
You
right?
can't miss a line here or there, and you want to like not even just like from the science is relatively fucking simple. It's more what they mean, what they're trying to discover. And sometimes they're speaking in philosophy in a way.
Yeah, and people and like in their nature and like the way that they process things is something that's relatively consistent over time. Like it's so hard to like put yourself in the shoes of somebody from like an old time period, but I mean, as somebody that's not a astronomy expert, whenever the guy's watching Mars go in a circle and he goes, and then it stops and goes backwards, he's like, "What the hell?" And in my mind, I'm like, the concepts that like it would sort of explain it, but I'm like, I can't. Like, if I had to talk to them and explain it in that time period, I don't think I'd be able to do a very good job.
ChatGPT, does Mars look like this after 4 years?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's hard to put yourself like in those shoes where we're not going based on knowledge of like previous discoveries, right? Like they're the ones kind of making those discoveries by observing the objective reality around them. So I don't know, it just feels very human in that way.
Yeah,
good show. I gave this anime a 9 out of 10 for Orb.
9 out of 10.
I'll give it
very, very good.
An 8.5.
Honestly, I've only watched 6 episodes, so take it with a grain of salt, but I'd probably give it like a 9 so far as well. I'm really liking it. So.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, Handshakers 1 for me. 1 out of 10.
Handshakers, there's...
I agree. WON, Handshakers won this week. The best show.
No, I didn't say
number
one.
Ranked number one.
I said
number one.
I rated 1 out of 10.
Okay, but when you're holding hands, there's 2 hands involved. There's 10 digits, so it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. 10
exactly.
Out of
10. It revolutionized anime and the ecchi genre. Okay, that's all I'll say.
Handshaken. So next week we could cover either. Wait. When are the new episodes airing for the new season?
So a lot of what I saw, I think it's like this upcoming week or like something like that. Is that right, Recon? Or
so next week,
10 days.
Yeah,
about 10 days.
Even 20 days for some, 12 days for another.
12 days.
What I think we do next week, guys, is we're gonna go through the Annie list and discuss what we are looking forward to. But I also, you know what? We're just gonna do that next week, and then the week after that, we're gonna recommend anime again. I know we want to watch Giguk's new anime, and I wanted to recommend some stuff as well.
I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. We can dedicate a whole stream to talking about Giguk's anime if you want, or...
Well, no, I think we're gonna first do seasonals, and then we're gonna do 3 recommendations. We could do the recommendations now for the following week if you guys want. Do you guys know what you want to recommend? I think Jordan was just gonna do Giguk's anime, right?
That's what I said I was gonna do because I hadn't seen it yet, but I was really wanting to, and I know it's only like an 18-minute movie, something like that. So.
All right. So one guy on Spotify has been recommending. I recommend Helk.
Helk.
I've watched it. I've watched Helk.
Recon's watched everything. Okay, we're watching Saint Seiya then, I guess.
Fate Stay what?
Nice. Oh, have you watched Fate Stay Night?
I have not watched the Fate series. The only Fate I've watched was Apocrypha with Astolfo.
You haven't watched? Oh my god, you haven't watched Fate Zero or Unlimited Blade Works?
No, the only one I've watched is Apocrypha with Astolfo. Astolfo, best girl, by the way.
I honestly have not seen Fate Stay Night. I've seen Fate Zero, which is my favorite. Unlimited Blade Works, and then the Heaven's Feel trilogy is all I've really seen of Fate.
So I was gonna... Should we start Recon off with Fate Stay Night, the original? I like it. I actually like it a lot.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't say. But
I like Fate Zero better, and Blade Works.
What is it called? Fate Stay? Fate Stay Night?
Fate Stay Night. Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works is fantastic. Recon would like it because it looks
2014.
It looks very pretty.
Yeah, of course I would like it because Ufotable is just amazing. It smacks.
Yeah, but what if I go to the old one?
No, please don't go to no old one. I would rather watch the Ufotable version.
No, we're gonna watch the old one.
No!
Fate Stay Night, Recon. To start.
No.
Because Jordan hasn't watched it, so that's why I'm gonna do it.
I will say all the ufotable fates though are very good. It's one of the biggest reasons I'm a Demon
You're gonna
Slayer
make
hater.
me watch the crappy Studio Dean version, bruh.
Bro, this is why I'm a Demon Slayer hater at times. I'm like, I know people like it, but I'm like, they could be making more Fate or Type Moon type stuff. You know?
My turn. I want you guys to watch a classic masterpiece.
Ooh,
Strike the Blood.
Strike the Blood.
Never heard of it.
Yep. Very, very solid. Strike the Blood.
So we have Bond, Strike the Blood, and Fate Stay Night. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. I'll send those in the chat so we don't forget. Strike the Blood, 2013. Okay.
Okay, Recon.
We're all going a little bit older here this
It's
week.
a very good show.
It has like a few seasons.
A classic masterpiece. Yeah, it's actually got quite a few seasons. I'm not gonna lie.
A classic masterpiece, like Handshakers. Let's go. Modern classic.
Kimbo
So
the
Strike
White
the
Lion.
Blood.
Oh my god.
Strike the Blood has 5 seasons in total. 5 seasons.
Okay.
And season 1's already 24 episodes. It's crazy.
Since we have 2 weeks to watch, can we add Hulk to the list as well? Someone in my chat has been recommending. I want to watch it. Check it out.
I've already seen it. It's very recent, but if you want to, sure.
Yeah.
Well, so that
we can add Hulk
Jordan.
as mine and just have Bond as like the extra maybe because it's just
That's
18
true.
minutes, right?
True, exactly. And we have 2 weeks as well to watch it. Like next week, we're just gonna go through the list. So we have 2 weeks to catch up on these anime. I hope
What the
everyone
fuck is
enjoyed.
Kimba the White Lion?
That's
Kimbo
a very
the
old
White-
show that they say the Lion King copied off of. So it's like think the Lion King, but like older and then like animated in Japan. So.
Is it called
Not all I know.
Jungle Taite? Jungle Taite?
I don't.
Oh yeah,
know.
it is.
I haven't seen
is,
it.
yeah.
I just know
It is. It
of
is Kimba the White Lion.
Yeah.
Why does the lion look like a mouse? I'm not even gonna question it. You know what? I'm
It is
not
like,
even.
what,
Question.
1950s
I'm not even gonna
animation,
question
40s?
anything, man.
How old is Kimbo the White Lion? I don't even remember. I just know it was like one of the older
1965. Man,
Yeah.
1965.
It was one of the older anime I know of. So.
Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed Shimpaku, and I'll see you all next time.
Thank you guys.
Hey.
Later.